gotten some feedback that students are struggling to use EndNote efficiently. So I'm going to show you how I use it. I'm going to do a couple references that can hopefully give you an efficient way to quickly cite articles. This video does assume that students already have EndNote installed onto their computer, as well as the tab for EndNote X9 in Microsoft Word. So here's our normal Word screen. Let's say we're typing, and I now come to a place where I want to insert a citation. So we'll demonstrate how to use EndNote. I'm going to come to EndNote, the EndNote tab. On the far left, there is a button that says Insert Citation. Within that, I can then type a name or type of study. So we can look at Chuck proteins, for example. HSP, which is in one of those. And these are references that I already have saved on my computer. So I can type in, I can just double click that, and it inserts the citation and a reference at the end of my document. You may be saying, what if the reference isn't installed or isn't downloaded or saved into EndNote? So my preferred method is to just use Google Scholar to identify papers to import into EndNote. So let's say we'll look up a paper by me. So let's see if there's one that I don't think I have this one installed. So here's a paper. So this one is one that I've read, I've downloaded, I've used it for my assignment, and I now want to cite it. There's a couple things that we can see here is it has the citation here, it has a little bit about it, but then there's numerous links here. Yours probably won't say this. I have my settings set here. Yours will probably just have these quotation marks. These quotation marks, when you click it, pulls up this cite box. And here's the primary one that allows you to just copy and paste. Or you can click the EndNote file, and it will bring this file here. And all I'm going to do is open that file. So I'm not doing any changes. I'm just opening that file with EndNote. It's going to automatically open EndNote. It's now added. So I'm looking for this paper here. So let's say I now come back to my Word document. I want to insert my citation. Powers was the author. 2013, here's the paper. I double click to insert it. It now updates the references and does them automatically, just like that. So that's how I get them. And like I said, you can look for papers. I just always use Google Scholar to pull that reference out and import it into EndNote using that method there. So once we've done all of that, the next thing that we want to do is change the format of our references. So the formatting of the references can be controlled by this drop-down box here. So again, when we drop it down, we can see numerous ones. So let's see what Chicago does. So there, Chicago is changed to references as footnotes. How about Vancouver? Vancouver, similar there. Let's see if there's anything weird. You can see very slight changes. In the files as we go here. But nonetheless, you have a long list. If you don't see your list here, which you're likely not, you can select another style. Here is your long list of styles. And you can work to find those, whatever journal you're looking for or whatever style fits the journal. Oftentimes the journals will tell us, so you may be saying, well, how do I figure out what style my journal uses? So I pulled out a couple. So let's take a look at MSSE, so Medicine and Sports and Science in Sports and Exercise. So to find this, we demoed this in class briefly, but you can look at journal info. In other words, what we're going to try to find is information for authors on how to submit a paper, and that's where we'll find them. So sorry, not there. So here's our 4 authors. All right, we're doing this in real time. So let's pretend to submit a manuscript, because this should give us the instructions on how to do it. We're going to pull up our information, and what we're going to find is instructions for authors. Again, this is going to be slightly different for every journal. You're just kind of working your way to find them. What you then want to do is scroll through oftentimes lots of words, and you're looking for formatting. So here's our order of our manuscript and formatting. So let's see. Oh, here we go. So here's our references. So the reference shall list an order of citation rather than alphabetical order. No more than 50 references. We should use format references is when that has been adopted by the United States National Library of Medicine. So that's what I want to find in my Word document. So when I come here, I want to change this to the National Library of Medicine. So I'm going to come down. Our National Library of Medicine is NLM. I'll select that and it'll automatically do it. You may be saying, well, we'll use another example. So that's one example. Let's take a look at another journal. So let's look at the Journal of Athletic Training. Again, our goal is to try to find some parts for authors to tell us what formats to use. So here we are. Let's look at Author's Guide. Preparation of manuscript and references. So references should use the American Medical Association Manual Style 11th edition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that because I've already done this on my computer, so it exists on mine, but it won't on yours. So to do this, how do I install a new one? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google. I've downloaded that, so American Association Manual Style 11th edition, and at the end I'm going to write endnote. Now that we've searched for it, it sends us to the endnote website, which allows us to download this style. So now that I have this style, I can download it. I'm going to save the file. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to open the file. And when I open it, it opens in endnote. What I want to do is then do File, Save As. So when I do this, like I said, it's already here. I'm just going to duplicate it, but I'm going to say this is the class example. I will hit Save. It is now saved in my endnote repository. So I can come back, I can change this to the AMA. I don't remember my alphabet here. So my AMA 11th class example. As you can see, when I changed it to that, these changed to superscripts to kind of accurately format based on the American Medical Association 11th edition. Again, automatically done. So that hopefully shows you how to find it, download it, save it, and then use that style here. One more example that I'll show you is if we look at the Journal of Occupational or Orthopedic Surgery and Physical Therapy. So again, same idea. I just search for physical therapy journals. Info Center for authors. Let's see. Preparing your manuscript will send us down. Manuscript preparation. Here's our references. So I start reading these, and this is a lot of information here that I'm not going to bother to read. But when I read it, I basically said, okay, they don't actually have an endnote style that I can just download. I now have two choices. my personal choice, and honestly, the scientist, I wouldn't submit a journal here. Like, I wouldn't submit a paper to this journal who is going to make me reformat every single uh, reference, which could be up to 75 to 100 references, in some weird format that, in my opinion, when I read this, I was like, I've never seen a format like this ever. I just personally wouldn't use the time needed to format this many references by hand. And so I just would just pick another journal for this assignment. If you're curious, you actually can. You can go in and you can, within EndNote, you can actually edit these styles in order to do that. However, again, you're taking up a lot of time. For simplicity's sake, for this assignment, if you don't see something clear where it says, we use this style, and again, this style can be a general one, or it can be specific to the journal. If you don't see that, find another journal article, or find another journal to match the assignment to make it easier on you. Hopefully that helps. Give me some feedback if you need other info, and I'll see what I can do. Thanks.